Hello, everyone. Welcome to our final module of this fast-paced lightning round semester. Y'all, I've been impressed with those who have kept up, those who have been submitting their work, and really exploring how to present yourself in a professional way and highlight who you are professionally, what your skills and attributes are, and writing those cover letters. Anyway, you're doing a great job. So we are heading into our final week. We are working on this short proposal. And the first thing I want to remind you of or encourage you to do is to open up those instructions again and read them over. Keep in mind key things. Well, here, I'll open that up right here. Key things to remember. This is not a formal proposal. This is an internal example method of outreach. Okay, you're reaching out to somebody within a place of employment or on the Paradise Valley campus to offer an idea, to attenuate, to correct, to improve a need that you have found within that area. And so it is key. One of the key things to this assignment is to be able to propose an idea and explain it clearly through writing. First of all, validate that there is a need, and then explain your plan with clarity through writing, but also to do it in a personable way. Okay, your voice, your personality needs to shine through here. If somebody receives an unsolicited letter of proposal that is AI generated, that is robotic, that is sterile, they're not going to read that. They're not going to care. And even if it was a formal call for proposals and somebody received, 10, 15, 50 proposals that were all sterile, all AI generated or clinical, they would look exactly the same other than different nouns and a few verbs, and they would be just ignored. They would be set aside. It would be the ones where the personality shines through, where the unique voice of the author shines through. Those are the ones that are going to capture the reader's attention. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is a method of outreach. Your voice needs to shine through here, your personality, while still being professional, right? It's not a one or the other kind of deal. Okay, so read through this. Remember, you're going to bring in at least one outside source, 2 at the very most, and you're going to include your steps of the proposal process, of the steps of implementing your proposal, and also include a table of some sort. And that table can be very simple. It doesn't have to be some big, grand, elaborate table or chart with bells and whistles and colors and moving parts and all of that kind of stuff. Keep it simple, right? So if we look at the instructional content for this week, there's a few things on creating charts, a few apps that work well, and a little bit of reading on how to incorporate information. I've also included some really good handouts, and this especially is a great example of how to incorporate content from an outside source. We need this. Everybody needs this. Okay, we do not want just dropped quotes. Paraphrasing is going to be best. How to attribute to the author, how to integrate content from an outside source into your writing so that it retains the feel of your writing and your voice. So please read over that content. Then we're going to get into the actual assignments, which is basically the peer review and the final submission. The peer review is going to be like we've done before, but I'm going to encourage you to follow my instructions. Why isn't that opening? Let's open that up again. Wait for it. Goodness, it is taking its time. As that's figuring out how to open, make sure that you participate with the peer review, but make sure your full participation is on the discussion board. Here, I'm going to try and figure this out. Hold on just a minute. There we go. Okay, so if we look here, I'm going to go over here and open up our calendar too, really quickly. So here we are in the last week. So our peer review is going to start on noon. Okay, note that time, on noon on Monday, and then it's going to be finished within 48 hours. Now that still gives you the morning of the 14th to look over the feedback that you've gotten and apply any of the suggestions that your classmates have offered you. And then this final draft is going to be due the night of the 14th, okay? And so this proposal, you're going to share some questions, but you're going to reply to 2 classmates within 48 hours, answering these questions and also addressing some of the criteria on the rubric, okay? Make sure that you're not grading one another's paper or editing one another's paper. We're looking at the substance, at the ideas, at the clarity of sharing a plan through writing, okay? After that, we just have the final submission. Look over the rubric, see, what I'm going to be grading, what I'm going to be looking for, and let me know if you have any questions on any of this. Have a great week.